Hey there, guys. This is not Spade bringing another white and black battle. This is actually Pinobi, also known as TheAcousticKind, a good friend of Spade's, doing a guest narration for him over one of his Wi-Fi battles. He gave me this battle to narrate, and we're going to have some fun with it. Should be pretty awesome. If you enjoy my narration, feel free to check me out. Spade will leave a link and all that kind of fun jazz. So I have seen this battle before, but very briefly the other day, so my memory is a little rusty of it, so it'll be a semi-blind narration. I'm leaving the teams up for a second so you guys can get a good look. And you can see that Spade's team is all other than Blastoise weather inducers. So I guess this is a gimmicky team he's using just for some fun. The opponent's team is pretty decent too. It has an Arcanine and stuff, so it should be pretty interesting to see how it goes. And yeah, the opponent's going to do like Hijundo, and Spade's going to lead with his Politoed to set up the rain, which is pretty cool since he does have two pokes that can use the rain, including Blastoise. The opponent's just going to go straight for a U-turn. I guess maybe if Spade wanted to switch to a counter, then the opponent didn't want to lose switch advantage, so he did just go for a U-turn. And he goes into this garbage guy, which is going to take a pretty hefty chunk on Spade's Scald because it is rain boosted. So not exactly the best play on the opponent's part. Not exactly sure what he was predicting Spade to do on that turn. And Spade, unfortunately for the opponent, does get the burn, which is going to have the opponent's physical attack power. And he goes straight to his Blastoise. Maybe he predicting the opponent to set up the Toxic Spikes, not sure. But that was a great play on Spade's part because it is going to prevent his team from being toxic poisoned, and it didn't look like Spade had a heal bella or anything like that. He is going to get the Rain Dish. I'm actually really interested to use Rain Dish Blastoise myself since I do love using Blastoise sets. And Spade's going to go for the Aqua Jet here, which I actually didn't realize anyone other than me used Aqua Jet on Blastoise. But he said that this is actually a set from the Shadow Project, a pretty well-known Pokemon YouTuber who actually quit. But yeah, Spade's just going to keep going for the Rapid Spin, knowing that the opponent will die out to the burn, which is going to be good for Spade. Because, yeah, burn does more than Black Sludge Recovery, for those of you that didn't know that. And one more Rapid Spin. Ooh, not quite going to take it out, meaning that the opponent will get that one layer of toxic spikes up before going down to the burn, meaning that Spade's pokes that come in will get poisoned, but they will not be badly poisoned, so the toxic will not be progressive, so it'll do 1/16 per turn, and it will not increase. So Spade's going to go for Protect, just to scout out what this guy wants to do. It's lucky for him that guy's not a Subseeder. And Spade's going to make a great play, predict a Leech Seed, because the opponent's going to predict the switch, because who would stay in with a Blastoise on a Seed Flare? And not only does it get rid of the Leech Seed, it gets rid of the one layer of Toxic Poison. So that is a nice pickup for Spade, and it's going to let him go straight to his Abomasnow, predicting the Seed Flare. I guess the opponent's not really wanting to overpredict here. I guess he doesn't have too much of a reason to, and it is going to activate the Hail. Unfortunately for Spades, he doesn't have any other pokes to abuse the Hail, but at the same time, if he switches out, a new weather will be induced. Now, unfortunately for Spade, the opponent does carry the HP Fire, which was fairly common in Gen 4, I know, for Shamans to use that, and with Ferrothorn running about, I can't imagine that having been decreased in popularity. So yeah, Spade's going to bring in his Ninetales, which will activate the Drought, the Sun, which is good for him. But the opponent is going to switch out into his Arcanine and get the Intimidate. And yeah, Spade just didn't overpredict. He went straight for an Overheat. Maybe should have predicted the Arcanine to come in, but hey, he's already made a nice prediction so far. Maybe predicted a prediction of predictions. So he goes out to his Have You Ever Seen to get the Rain, because that will half the power of all fire moves. The opponent went for, I believe, a Toxic on that turn, which missed. But it doesn't really matter because, oh, actually, never mind, his Volt, whatever the hell, didn't actually kill this turn. And Spade's just going to go for the Scald, because with the Rain boost, it is going to do a pretty good, obvious chunk, and in fact KO, because yeah, super effective plus stab plus the rain is going to do monstrosity. And if you watched NBZ's video the other day, you actually learned that Hydro Pump from a Politoed specs in the rain does more than a Latios specs Draco Meteor, so that's kind of interesting to note. Opponent's going to bring in a Shaman, because obviously you can go for the Seed Flare. And Spade doesn't really have many good switches for this Shaman due to his team composition. So he goes into his Powdon. I'm not sure what he was predicting the opponent to do. Maybe he predicted the opponent to Leech Seed on a switch, but either way, the opponent could easily outspeed and then just Seed Flare away. So I guess he thought he needed fodder. But he had his Ninetales, which easily counters Shaman. So Maybe he predicted a double switch or something. I'm not really sure what the situation is, but since neither player has their entry hazards up, I would say that that was an interesting play. So yeah, the opponent goes into their Kajundo, which is sashed, and is not actually a Kajundo, is actually a Zoroark, which without rocks is a little difficult to know that in advance. And the bad thing for him is, of course, Spade can just go to his Tyranitar to activate the Sand, which will easily break the 1 HP remaining after the Focus Sash. So I'm not sure why the opponent went for Sucker Punch. I think there might have been some better options, but who knows. So yeah, Spade's going to go into his Ninetales, get the Drought, because like we've already covered, it does half the power of water moves. So even though it's super effective, it's not going to do jack diddly balls, which is kind of interesting. I would have expected it to do a bit more because it's Stab, but maybe this is a supportive, or defensive I should say, Suicune. Since it's not using Surf, it is using Scald, so it could perhaps have a high special defensive investment hoping for, burns, and that'd be a pretty nice setup. So Spade just goes for the Overheat. Not really sure why. Maybe predicting a switch. Actually, that's not too bad of a play because if I were the opponent, I probably wouldn't want to just stay in scalding a Ninetales either. And Spade is going to go for the Power Swap, which is pretty awesome because I actually have a Ninetales that uses Overheat and Power Swap as well. Back in the days, a YouTuber by the name of Neurotoxin used to use that. Okay, this isn't a history lesson, it is a Pokemon's battle, but there's really not too much going on here. Spade's finally going to reveal to the opponent that he does pack Solar Beam, and I find it really weird that the opponent didn't switch out after getting Power Swapped on, because he does have -2 attack. So I guess he's like foddering out so he can get a free switch into maybe his Kajundo or something like that. Yeah, that's actually a pretty decent explanation, I suppose. But he is going to go into his Shaman now, predicting the Solar Beam, although it doesn't see... Oh, actually, he might have the Earth Power, which could take Spade out from this health. Although it's not Stab, and Ninetales does have good special defense investment, so it would have to be an offensive Shaman. And it does have Leech Seed, so it's kind of hard to know. He does carry the Earth Power, and the Earth Power does not take him out. So maybe he is a more mixed, has a little bit of bulk Shaman or a bulky Shaman because he did carry the Leech Seed, but he did carry 3 attack moves, so hard to say what the investment was there. He is base 100 across the board like Jirachi and Mew and all that stuff, so a lot of variety for possible sets. And Spade's going to switch out, probably predicting the Fake Out, just go straight to his Politoed. And this is of course going to be the real Kajundo now, and he does just go for the Fake Out, which is going to inflict Life Orb damage, so I'm thinking that his lead was actually a Zoroark since it was physical with Sucker Punch, so maybe it was a physical Zoroark with U-Turn? Or maybe U-Turn... I don't know, I guess that must have been the situation, so you guys can let me know if you agree with that. I think that's the case. So yeah, he's going to bring in his Chuck Toys now, which does carry the Aqua Jet, and Kajundo doesn't really have great defenses or anything. I don't know why he just keeps U-turning when he could have just got a straight switch, but I thought the Protect didn't really do much for Spade, I suppose, since the opponent has Life Orb, not lefties, and all that kind of stuff. So he does go out into his Suicune, which maybe has the HP Electric or something like that, so I guess we're going to see what exactly this Suicune can do to the Blastoise, because Blastoise is a very bulky poke. And Spade's just going to go for the Aqua Jet, probably his only attack move since he does seem to be a supportive set. And the opponent's going to try to get a burn, I guess, on him. And it's actually going to work out. So both players are getting pretty lucky with their Scald, because it only has a 30% chance to burn, and all that good stuff. So the opponent's going to get their lefties. The Toxic is going to take its toll. So unless this is a Suicune with Rest, what do they call that? Crocune? He is on a bit of a timer. And he does have the Rest. So yeah, there you go. He is gonna, I guess, be a bulkier Suicune like we originally thought with the Scald to weaken physical attacks. Probably has some special defense EVs. Maybe he's a Rest Talker with Scald and some other move. Not sure. I guess we'll have it revealed to us. And Spade's just gonna switch out back to his Ninetales, knowing that he can handle this thing fairly well with the Solar Beam. And yeah, the chances of him getting Scald with his Suicune are pretty low, and it is going to activate the Sun, which weakens the water moves, as we've already covered. And Spade is just going to fire off a Solar Beam, which is going to do a freaking... Oh, okay, it was a crit. I was going to say, what the F? Yeah, that did the opposite of Jack Diddley Balls. And yeah, the opponent's just going to go for a Scald with their Sleep Talk, and now their rest should run out. And the reason that they're probably not switching out, because he probably could have switched to Kajundo, predicting the Solar Beam, because I don't think that would have killed. But, Rest Talk in this generation, or not Rest Talk, the way Rest works in this generation is that if you switch out, your Rest will be restarted when you come back in. So I guess he was trying to get lucky with the Rest Talk turns, and it didn't work out. And Kajundo does have the regeneration ability. That's the reason that his HP is back up to full. It's not some weird Zoroark shenanigans, even though that already died. Just to clarify. So yeah, he's going to bring in his Guitar, which I actually really love that nickname. I should have mentioned that earlier, but... Guitar. And yeah, he can just go for the superpower, which is a complete and utter overkill, in my opinion, and that's going to be the game. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the game, or how would Spade say it? That was the game for today. Please leave a liking rating if you enjoyed, because it really helps the videos. And yeah, you can check me out if you enjoyed, so peace out. Spade, I love you.